Welcome, welcome. It is 3 Degrees with Proper Fangirl. We are back. We are here. It is now. All right, guys, I know I keep throwing some curveballs at you, but I'm just going to tell you I'm like a creative and I'm free and I'm floaty and I just kind of have to go my own way sometimes. And sometimes I get caught up in an album release for my most favorite artist, like ever. I don't think I should have to tell you this, but I will. Today I will be talking about Harry Styles and his new album called Harry's House. Now, why do I have to do this? Well, I feel compelled. Primarily because it has absolutely consumed my entire life for what feels like 72,000 years, but maybe only the last 2 months. Now, I'm going to warn you, the first section of this podcast episode is a lot. If you can put it in half speed, it might make it easier to listen to. This is me at a very extra level. Okay. So I don't want your judgment because I don't need it and I didn't ask for it. I did not solicit your opinion about how fast I talk. Did I breathe in the first section? I did not. I did it in one single breath. So I want commendation for that. I want you to be excited for me and proud of me. Not judgmental, because, who needs that? I do hope you enjoy listening to what it's like when you're in love with an artist and they have new music coming out, because it has been a very exciting time for me and all of my fellow Harrys. That is what we are called. We didn't pick the name. I think it's based on his name. Anywho, I hope you enjoy today's episode of 3 Degrees. All right, guys, welcome to the shit show that is your favorite human who does music has an album coming out. I don't even know how to prepare you for this. If you're not in this situation, if you are currently not waiting or have just listened to the new album by Harry Styles, I don't know how to prepare you for this. This is going to be a lot. This is going to be extra. You're going to feel some kind of way. And I'm going to tell you, I think you're still going to enjoy it. So don't be turned off by it. Okay. By raising the hands, and I'm going to be able to see you if you do this, raise your hand if you have ever been available for an album release of your favorite artist. Okay. Oh my God. So many of you. Okay. Well, it's my first time, so don't judge me. This has been the most incredible experience of my life. And I have been completely and totally consumed. Okay. So I'm going to try to explain to you in the best order that I possibly can, but I'm going to tell you it's extremely difficult to keep up with the order because so much has been happening. Okay. So let me explain this first a little bit. When you are in a fandom, meaning you are so incredibly obsessed with an artist that you are following everything that is happening to them on social media. This is how they do this now. It is on social media. It is on TikTok. It is on Twitter. It is on Instagram. It is also on Discord, but we're not going to get into that right now. So you follow all these social medias, and when you start talking to your phone, for those of you that don't talk to your phone, you probably should pick this up. Well, you are already talking to your phone because everything that you say your phone is listening to. So if you go, Harry Styles, Harry Styles, Harry Styles, your phone will be like, do you like Harry Styles? And whether you do or you don't, or you're standing next to a girl at your office who keeps talking about Harry Styles, which has happened to a few of my coworkers, well, your phone's going to send you a little video about him. And it's going to be like, were you talking about this Harry Styles or this Harry Styles? And they'll be like, I wasn't talking about Harry Styles at all. How many times can I say Harry Styles? Harry Edward Styles. Okay, I'm not going to say it again. So let me tell you what started happening. Okay, are you ready for this? Okay, so I'm really going to try to start at the beginning. I don't know what the beginning is. I literally started numbering these and I had to go into negatives and add B's and A's. I don't know what's happening. I was like, 1, no. Okay, -1 and then -2. Which comes first, -2 or -1? -2 for those of you that are following it on the number line. Okay, so what happened first? First of all, somebody started this account on Sumanella. Now, we've been waiting for content for Harry Styles. We wanted to know, what is going on? What are you doing? Oh my God, are you vacationing? What kind of pants are you wearing? First of all, he has 1 pair of blue jeans. Somebody send him more blue jeans. I think he has 2 now, but wait. Y'all are getting ahead of me. Hold on. We're not talking about fashion yet. Okay. So first thing that happens is somebody starts this account on TikTok called Sue Manella. And we think it's him and the pink stairs, but does he have pink stairs anymore? And is it his feet? Because his feet are a little more triangular than we think that they are. And maybe it's Harry Lambert, because they're definitely referencing a Vine that he was in. And then somebody took the billion streams for Watermelon Sugar and got the Spotify plaque. And then come to find out that none of that was real. Okay, let's talk about the real stuff, because that was a farce. The real stuff is there's this thing that comes up that's called youarehome.co. And it's this very two-dimensional door that just a little tiny bit and a whisper of a picture. Okay, you can't really see it. It's not enough to satisfy you. It's just a taste of a picture. And then with the said picture comes a tweet. Tweet. Hello, you are home. Welcome home. I don't even remember what it started with, but it started at noon on a certain day, one day. And it was like, what? What is this? And we go bananas. We are sucked into this youarehome.co. And then the next day at 12 noon, Eastern Standard Time, it happens again. And then the next day, and the next day, and the next day, until... Well, I forgot to tell you, there was a bed video. Okay, all right, how do I explain this? So Harry Styles was laying in a very large bed, probably the largest bed I've ever seen in my entire life, being dragged around by a trailer on a truck. It was on a trailer. It was the trailer. Anyway, and then he had some friends, a bass player, a drummer. They were also sitting in the bed. They were all in their pajamas. There was lots of blankets, lots of sheets, lots of pillows. Very confusing. I think the Queen saw them. So we get the idea that, oh my God, he is going to release a single. Have we seen this music video yet? No, we have not. And this was like, I don't know, a gazillion years ago. So that's one of the first things that comes out around the same time the Sue Manella thing is happening. Then we get the Doors. Then we start discovering that things happen. Then we get the announcement that May 20th, a new album is coming out, and it's called, are you ready for it? Harry's House. Now, when I first heard the name of this album, I thought, this is ridiculous. I don't like that because somebody leaked it. And okay, and if you do not know what a leak is, okay, well, it's when you have a hole in a bucket, Dear Liza, that's a leak. Okay, for those of you that don't know that reference from Sesame Street, you're obviously younger than I am. So good for you. I'm sure your ankles don't hurt or your knees. Anywho, we find out that the album is coming out May 20th. And then we get these clips, these pictures, and we get a single. It happens on a Friday. It started, we had to sign up for it. It started before I knew it was going to start. I sobbed. Everybody was like, oh my God, it's such a bop. It's a sad song, y'all. As It Was his first single from Harry's House. He wore a red, what looked like a jumpsuit. Okay, I'm not going to call it a jumpsuit. It looks like a jumpsuit. It's a jumpsuit. It's a shirt and it's pants, but it looks like a jumpsuit, and I love it because it's red and it's sparkly and it's amazing. Was he on a spinning disc and a wheel? I don't know what it's called, but yes, he was on a spinning disc and a wheel. Was he in a room that was multicolored, multifaceted graphic artist stuff that's related to all kinds of important things that I can't even get into because I don't want to remember everything. This is not a history lesson. I'm just telling you how I feel. Yes, that is what happened in this music video. And it was, well, it shook the universe because I'm going to tell you, even if you don't know about Harry Styles, you know about As It Was, because it basically broke the internet because it's breaking all the records. It's been number one for like forever now. Like it's been a gazillion years that As It Was has been a number one hit. Then they announced that Sweet Baby Harry Styles is going to be at Coachella. Coachella, you say? I don't know about him being at Coachella. Oh, well, don't you know about him being at Coachella because he came out in a sequin dream jumpsuit again. Again, he comes out in the jumpsuit. And he comes running down the stairs in his big, giant black ostrich coat. And he sings As It Was in the most wonderful bridge of all time. Well, up until this point, until he does another one. And it was amazing. But in between the first performance of Coachella and the second performance of Coachella, they're 1 week apart for those of you that don't know. Something happened one of the days. Somebody leaked Harry Styles written songs from One Direction days, and then HS1 songs from HS1 days, and then the entire album of songs from Harry's house. And what I'm going to tell you that when this happened, I didn't know what to do. But I was like, okay, if I'm never going to hear Medicine and Anna and Complicated Freak and Baby Honey on an album, I'm listening to it right now. I don't think I'm going to hear these other songs called Already Home. If you've not heard this, oh my God, it's the most magical song. Beautiful, beautiful bridge. Him also has a beautiful, beautiful bridge. What is it with Harry Styles and a bridge? I feel like he loves the bridge more than anything else. Incredible. So then we get leak songs from One Direction. And I'm telling you, I had like an out-of-body experience. I didn't know what to do. Like I had like, this Harry wrote this song. And it's like Harry Styles with Prince Hair Harry. Go back to episode 1 if you want to know who Prince Hair Harry is. It's a certain hairstyle. And then Long Hair Harry wrote Complicated Freak. I just can't with you, sir. Stop telling us of the things. I can't. Oh my God. I'm rolling my eyes and also I'm blushing. Stop it. You're not grown yet. I don't know when you'll be grown, but I will let you know. I'll send you a letter. So then Coachella happens. Oh, what happened the first Coachella? I forgot to tell you that. Oh, Shania Twain. Oh, yeah. Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Yeah, sings that. Incredible. And then week 2, who does he bring after the album is leaked? Yes, he brings Lizzo. And then he says to us, to my respectful kings and queens. Pause for effect. Why did he pause for effect? Because he never said anything after that. I don't know. He's mad at us. He's angry because we thought he might be angry at us because we didn't leak it. I mean, we didn't leak it, but some people listened, whatever. And then what else happens? Oh, well, then we get Pleasing merch, and then we get Harry's house merch, and then we have boxes, and then we've seen, how many times have I pre-ordered this album? Well, let me be clear, 13 times. On accident, on purpose. I support him. He's not making money streaming his music. You have to buy the merch. It's what they say. It's what they tell you because it's hardly anything on the streams. Okay, so if you are not buying the merch or the albums themselves physically, I mean, do you even love Harry Styles? Because I'm going to question your loyalty. Then we find out that he's doing an interview in Better Homes and Gardens. Why, you ask, is Harry Styles doing a magazine that is geared toward 50-plus women? 50 years old. Legitimately, if they live to be 100 middle-aged women. I don't know the answer to that question because he doesn't answer my questions. Not yet, anyway. But he's going to be in Better Homes and Gardens. Is he doing a shoulder stand? You heard me right. A yoga shoulder stand. Did he also stand on a post? Do we see his toes numerous times? At one point, I think we got a picture of him with like little tiny yellow flowers in between all of his toes, promoting one of his pleasing polishes. Yeah, that was glorious. I loved it. For those of you that are not feet people, I'm so sorry. Harry Styles is apparently a foot person of himself. Then we found out that he was doing an interview with Howard Stern. Then we found out he was going to be on the Today Show. Then we found out that he was doing One Night Only in New York. Then we found out that he was doing a One Night Only in London. Then we found out that he was doing an interview with Howard Stern. Then we found out he was doing an interview with Zane Lowe. Then we found out he was doing something with a podcast on a Sunday morning. Then we found out he was reading a story to children in his pajamas. When I say to you, this is a lot to keep up with, I slept for 14 hours Friday night, okay? I'm tired. Harry Styles, this is a lot. Oh, but are the fans here for every bit of it? So, what is the news that I am trying to tell you? Oh, also, did I mention, instead of waiting to do more shows in the U.S. in 2023, which was, fingers crossed, what I was hoping for. Oh, no. He is going to sell tickets at the end of May for a residency tour that he is doing in the U.S. He is doing 32 shows, 2 in Canada. And BT Dubs, Harry, what is up with Canada? Do you not love them anymore? Remember the whole poutine, maple syrup, riding a horse, loving all things Canadian with a maple leaf. You should send a tweet or some kind of love song. Oh, Canada, how I love the way you say bean. Like I've been to the store. Anywho, I just want you to know there's a lot going on. So in the next segment of this podcast, I'm going to tell you what it's like, because who is going to one night only? Me. I am. I'm going to one night only Friday night, and it's going to be amazing. It's in New York City. It's a very short plane ride. I will be wearing sequins. Don't you worry, honey boo boo. I will be adorned like a disco ball, so that when Harry looks out into the crowd, he says, "Oh dear, I think that is the female that I saw last fall, 13 of the 42 times that I was in the States." And I will say, "Yes, love, it is me." Okay, guys, I'm getting carried away. But this is the first little installment of what it's been like waiting on Harry's house. Okay, guys, I hope that you ran through that first section. Take a deep breath. I'm okay. I'm still alive. Don't worry. I know I talk really, really fast when I'm really, really excited. I'm going to try to slow down so that maybe you can understand some of the things that I'm saying. Just to recap, he did a lot of teasing, a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of insider promo before he decided to release the album. So that was a lot of fun. Now, this portion is when I decided that I needed to be where Harry Styles was going to be when his album was released. Now, you're going to ask me, Heather, how did you know that he would be in New York? Well, first it started with Jenna Bush. She's on the Today Show, and she said, "Oh, Harry Styles is going to come on our summer concert series." And we heard that. I don't think she was supposed to say that. We heard that, and we thought, this means he's going to be in New York on May 20th. Now, did anyone confirm this or tell us this? No, they did not. Did we buy tickets, flights, reserve hotels with this partial information? Yes, we did. Now, does that make us crazy or so smart? I'll let you decide. Again, don't tell me, because your judgment is unimportant to me. Anywho, what I will tell you is that we were prepared and we were ready to go. Okay. So then as time gets closer to the release date, May 20th, Harry's House is supposed to come out. We get all kinds of things. That week was the Howard Stern interview, and Zane Lowe, I think, happened earlier that week. And so we get those interviews and we're consuming them like the greatest cheesecake of our lives, the best chocolate that we've ever consumed. It's as if we had never seen him be videotaped before. He was in new outfits. I wish I could explain to you what it's like to look at this person that you adore and you're like, oh my God, he's wearing strawberries. His pants are green. His hair looks amazing. Has he been tanning? Has he been outdoors? I mean, there is all of this emotion wrapped up in their outfits. Do they look happy? Do they seem excited? And I'm going to say yes to all of this. He did wear strawberries and beautiful green pants when he was on Howard Stern interview. He also wore a beautiful fuzzy sweater after Coachella, which makes no sense to me because I'm pretty sure Coachella was 1,400 degrees Fahrenheit, which he did wear a full-length coat. I don't know. He needs to get his iron checked. I think he's anemic. But anywho, we're very obsessed with the outfits. And do we dissect every single thing that he says? And every time he touches his little cheek with his little fingers, with his painted nails? We do. As I'm saying it, it almost sounds a little, well, you know, again, excitable. Excitable we are. We're excited. It's an amazing thing that's happening. So as we get closer, we realize that these tickets that we have got, $25 tickets to see him at one night only, which is insane, which they were selling on StubHub for thousands of dollars. thousands a $25 ticket. Everyone had the option to get the $25 ticket if you got chosen. And it was like being, I don't know, the chosen people. I don't know who the chosen Harrys were, but somehow I ended up in this group of a $25 ticket, and others bought expensive tickets. And anyway, some were given tickets, and Brittany Broski was there. Okay, I moved ahead too far. So we go to New York. He's on the Today Show. It's pouring down rain. He is dressed as a candy-striped Gumby highlighter. It's a jumpsuit. It's long sleeves. It has bell sleeves and bell bottoms. It's delightful. I enjoyed it. Some people did not enjoy it. The concert was fantastic. And we're leading into this Friday night. And I'm going to tell you, I made myself a new sequin top. It's pink. I call it bubblegum glitter. So it's pink, and then it has multicolored sequins in the background. And it's a dream. It's a fabulous dream. If you want to look like a disco ball, it's a dream. And that apparently is my goal, because it's easier to find me in a crowd. If you're looking for me, just look for the disco ball that is pink bubblegum glitter. So we go to this experience, this one night only. And so one of the things that's like in my head before we get there, it's pouring down rain. We've had a quick dinner. We're in a hurry. We're sweating. We're wet. We're the bottom of our pants. I mean, just everybody is drenched, not feeling like super cute. But the minute that we get inside the venue, it's good. It's great. Everybody is beautiful and lovely and happy and excited. And I had a moment where I realized this may be the only time, one of two times, but the only time for me that I will ever hear this album in its entirety. Because, you know, when they start getting 3 and 4 and 5 albums, and this is his third album, you don't get every song when you go to their concerts. There's just too many songs and not enough time. I mean, I just want to put it out there that if you would like to do a 4-hour concert and sing every single song that you've ever written, I am down. I am here for that. But it's really not what happens. At this point, the one night only, you're going to hear the entire album from start to finish. And then he's going to play a few of his favorites, a few of our favorites. And we're going to have this special intimate moment where the album has been out for 20 hours and we've already memorized some of the words. We've already memorized some of the melodies, some of the choruses. So we get there, we're inside, and he comes out and he's adorable and lovely with his little short sleeves knit sweater with red hearts all over it, and his black leather pants, and his hair looking like a swishy dream. And I'm going to tell you, I can't hardly describe his energy. And this man has crazy energy when he performs. Anybody that has ever seen him will tell you he is magnetic. He is persuasive and powerful and lovely and funny and magnetic and just on fire when he performs. But that night, it's like he had all of his feelings kind of wiggling at us like little fingers, and we were all just close enough to touch it. It was electric. It was magnetic. Every song, beautiful, lovely, dancey, sad, beautiful. And when you have an artist and they have new music coming out, I think one of the fears is, and it's a true fear, what if I don't like it as much as I liked the last one? Like, what if it's not like Fine Line? I really liked Fine Line. Fine Line spoke to me. Fine Line sat with me. Mine was Falling. What if it's not like Falling? What if there isn't a song that touches me like Falling did? What if I can't connect? I mean, it's genuine. Because you love them so much, you want to love it. You want to experience it in a similar way, but you're not sure. And I will tell you, listening to this album, my brain didn't know what to do with it. The first song, Music for a Sushi Restaurant, is like all dancey and jittery. Like you feel like your insides are being tickled. How else do you describe it? It's dancey and you want to move and shake and bounce around. And it's just sounds that you don't know what those sounds are. And the melody is cool and kind of funky and not anything that I've ever heard him do before. And I thought, here we go. And then we heard others that we'd heard before, which was Late Night Talking, Boyfriends, As It Was. Those were good, but I'd already fallen in love with Satellite. The idea of him being suspended in outer space, waiting for me specifically, of course, me to pull him in. That he's just waiting if I need him. And I thought, how did you know to write that song? You knew I needed that. That I felt like at some point when I found you, that's what I did, right? So we're all having this amazing experience. And he also wrote this song called Matilda. And Matilda resonated with a very large group of people. And what it kind of touches on, very specifically, is sometimes the family that you were given isn't the family that's the best family for you. And sometimes you have to grow up and you have to move away from that family and create new family to love on you and to be there for you. But that there is joy and hope in that. That just because you didn't receive the love that you should have growing up doesn't mean that you can't receive the love that you deserve as an adult with family that you choose. And when he played that particular song, I have never been in an arena where this has happened. It was dead silent. And everywhere I looked, everyone was crying. And again, this is the magic of music. It will reach out. It will touch a part of you that you didn't even know needed to be touched, stimulated, tapped into. It will be there for you. It is now a song that you can sit with and pour out every thought and feeling and tear that you've been holding on to because you just didn't know quite how to articulate how you felt. We finished that evening and I felt like I had been invited in. He couldn't hardly leave us. He came out after already doing an encore. He did a second encore and came back out and did As It Was again. And as I reflected on that night, I thought, he really did write an album to invite us in. And that's the beginning of me falling in love with Harry Styles' newest album, Harry's House. All right. Now this last part, we're going to talk about the album. And I'm going to start by saying, if you've listened to Harry Styles before, let me give you a little, let's do a reminder session. Okay. Let's do a little reminder session. Harry Styles was in what? One Direction. Yes. He was in a boy band. Was it very poppy? Yes, indeed it was. Then what did he do? He did HS1, his self-titled debut album called Harry Styles. Now that was more of like a Fleetwood Mac-y kind of acoustic, kind of meet me in the hallway ever since New York. I'm feeling like it's the sign of the times because I am in Carolina and I need to jump around to Kiwi. Anywho, that has its own special little vibe. Then we have Fine Line because we're falling into cherries and we're singing about all the fruit. And then we have Fine Line, which is like an anthem. It's basically like a worship song. just reminding us that we're going to be all right. It's basically for the anxious folks. It's a song for millennials. Well, I mean, it was a song for me too, but I'm just saying it's a song for millennials. And then we have this particular album. Now he says that this particular album, this is it. Like he was like, no, he said this was it with HS1. And he was like, no, this is it. And then he was like, no, Fine Line. No, this is it. For this one, Harry's House, he was like, no, I mean it. This one is the most me. Okay, Harry, it's just the you right now, bae. It's the you right now. And I love it so much. It does not take away from the other two albums for me at all. But it itches a scratch I didn't know was itching. You know how men like you to scratch them on the back? I have never understood this. And I have asked them, is your back always itchy? That you need it to always be scratched? Like, why is there never a time that you're like, I don't need you to scratch my back? Because I only scratch my back when it's itchy. And what they've said, it just feels good for somebody to scratch your back. Okay. This scratched an itch I didn't know I had. And I just think it feels good to scratch this itch. I'm obsessed with this album. Okay. I'm going to try to calm down, but this is going to be very difficult. We're going to start with Music for a Sushi Restaurant. First of all, I just realized whilst looking at the lyrics that he says mine 6 times to start out this song. So now I'm going to have to go back and listen to that. You're shouting like a toddler? Why are you screaming mine? Are you screaming mine? Is it a quiet mine? Okay, we're going to have to check into that. He uses a lot of like what I would call like inside jokes. Like when you say green eyes, fried rice, I could kick an egg on you. You know, like how do you interpret that exactly? So there's a lot of things in this album that you're going to go, I think I know what tea with cyborgs is, but you don't know what that is. And that's okay. You don't have to literally understand this album to enjoy it. Okay. He does scatting in this particular album, which I enjoy. A scooby-doo-ba-doo-boop boop bebop. Be-doo. Ba-day-boo. I'm here for it. I love, when I first heard the skibby-dabby-doo part of Music for a Sushi Restaurant, I was like, we've run out of lyrics. No, I'm kidding. No, we're taking it seriously, right? Because we're adding like a jazzy bit to it. The first song, first out of the gate. We are not scared. That's what it said to me. We are not scared, which made me excited. Because when we are not scared, we are making some cool shit. And I'm excited. Then we get Late Night Talking. So we've done all the late night talking, which if you cannot relate to late night talking, like, I guess you haven't had a relationship yet, just get ready for it. You can't even get off the phone. You can't stop talking to each other. You're obsessed. You're obsessed. Then he does a song called Grape Juice. Now, what he should have called it is maybe perhaps fermented grape juice. Or is it about grape juice? We don't know. But he does, reference the grape juice blues, which I don't know how many people are sad because they're drinking red wine. But so it's like, it's up for interpretation. Then we go into the single, As It Was, which again is tragically sad. Even Harry admitted in the Zane Lowe interview, it's like watching people dance around to your death march. The song is very devastating for him because it's a devastatingly sad song, y'all. But it's so good. Such an incredible bridge. Again, I repeat, the man has a thing with bridges. Okay? Then we have Daylight, which he did the most adorable music video with James Corden. And he was wearing like a Bert and Ernie kind of striped tee. And they put him in like a little hat and a giant bow tie. And he had bluebirds flying around him. If I could fly, I'd be a bluebird. Well, he likes the bird and the flying and the home motif. It's definitely a thing that Harry keeps coming back to, which I'm here for. I love. Then there was Little Freak, which everybody was super excited about because they heard the leaked version of Complicated Freak. And so they thought that it was going to be kind of related. In fact, maybe not really related, and definitely more of I'm just thinking about you. I'm just thinking about you, and maybe you got some ideas, and I'd like you just sit right down and no more of that. No. Because that's wasted on me. And that's kind of where I get stuck in that particular song, but it's beautiful and it's lovely. One of my favorites. What I will say about this particular album is your favorites will change constantly. My initial first favorite, Music for a Sushi Restaurant, and Daydreaming, which is not the next song. The next song is Matilda. And I told you about that in the last segment about Matilda. Pulling on the heartstrings here, Harry Styles. A little too hard. Take it easy on us, folk, okay? We're trying to heal, and yet I feel like you're trying to speed up the process. So, easy, brother. And also, if you write a song that's about a person, you have to tell them. He literally said that he wrote this song about someone. And then he's asked the question, do they know you wrote a song about them? He's like, no. Are you going to tell them? I mean, I think they'll know. I think they're going to get it. That's not how this works. It's so special to have a song written about. First of all, I know you want to tell me what my song was, but we haven't gotten there yet. The next one is Cinema. Now, I got some questions about this Cinema song, okay? You got, I bring the pop, you pop. You got, I bring the pop. You got the cinema. I bring the pop to the cinema. You pop, you got. Okay, I would go on, but this is an entire TikTok that's running around. I literally want to tell you that little section that I just did for you. I didn't finish it because it was feeling repetitive. It sounds much better in the song. I'm not doing it justice, and I'll admit that. That's a whole TikTok that's been running viral. That we're like, I can do this. I don't have to look at the words to be able to do this because you keep stopping at certain points. But Cinema, enjoyable. Daydreaming. That was my first favorite, along with Music for a Sushi Restaurant. Questionable second line. I'll let you look that up. But we are living in a daydream. And I enjoy this. But then we get to Keep Driving. Okay. I have to talk about Keep Driving because this is when we find out about the cyborgs. Okay. This is when we find out about black and white film and yellow sunglasses and an ashtray and a swimming pool and hot wax and jumping off of a roof and maple syrup and coffee and pancakes for two and hash brown and egg yolks and passports and footwells and kiss her and don't tells and wine glass and puff pass and tea with cyborgs, riot, America, science and edibles, life hacks going viral in the back. Y'all. You're literally telling me 75 inside jokes and I don't know what they mean. And I love it. But can you provide perhaps an alternate, let me just explain a little bit of it, we just like to know a little bit about what it means. But yeah, Mocha Pot Monday. Mocha Pot Monday. There's also another questionable couple of somethings in this song, but you'll enjoy it. It's good. It's good. But a little confusing on the Keep Driving. But then here comes my favorite song. Satellite. Okay? Spinning out. Waiting for you to pull me in. I can see you're lonely down there. Don't you know that I am right here? Spinning out, waiting for you. Harry Styles, I will pull you in and let's chat. And I think I would feel better. Stop spinning away from me. You just bring yourself right on in and let's sit down and do a quick little interview. Then we go into Boyfriends. The acoustic version, it does a little bit of the song in reverse in the very beginning. So enjoyable. Such a beautiful song. And let me add that Harry Styles did all of the vocals for this entire album. So if you hear a she-bop, a boo-bop, a be-my, that is Harry Styles. If you hear a beautiful third above or third below, that is also Harry Styles. He is doing all of the harmonies and the bebops and the shoutings of cinema in the background. And apparently he says mine 6 times in the beginning of music for a sushi restaurant. Which if I go to a sushi restaurant and they play that song, I hope they have a dance floor, is all I'm going to say. Okay, well, I would tell you lots about the last bit of the album, which is called Love of My Life, but it's just a song about England that he wrote to remind us, and himself. Well, he's always been wanting to write a song about England. So he wrote a song called Love of My Life. Unfortunately, it's no longer the love of his life because it does say, you were the love of my life. So I don't know if that means that LA is his new favorite place, but I love of my life. And that's just a little bit of the magic of Harry Styles and Harry's house, and how I've completely fallen in love with a brand new album for just one of my most favorite people ever. On a very serious note, he's still the magic to me. And this may not be what you thought you were going to get today. So, surprise. You're welcome. All right, my sweet little love bugs. This was today's episode. More Harry Styles, all of Harry's house. I hope it gave you a little insight on what it was like to be a fan waiting on an album and completely and totally falling in love with it. It's a strange experience. I've got to admit, I just never anticipated that I would ever do this. This was not something I thought I was even capable of. I mean, I love music, probably more than most people. But this has just been an incredible, incredible experience. I do want to thank Harry Styles and his entire team, his band, for working through the pandemic and thinking about their lives and what they wanted to present to us by providing us their skill set of gifts. It's just, I couldn't possibly thank you enough. We need it. We need music. We need new music. We need music that sounds different or similar, almost the same, nothing like we've ever heard, all mixed into one. It's so good for us. It's so good for me. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and I will see you next time on 3 Degrees.